Hello and welcome. Now, it's not really an episode on the Tempest here. It's not really an episode of anything. It's more of a channel update. Things I'm going to be doing. Now, I had a little bit of time to stop and think about my life and things I need to get done. This little custom project I wanted for years, and I let it sit for years. I had big plans for it, just like a lot of people do. But sometimes you can't let it sit too long, you gotta get rid of it. Me, I can't afford a ton of projects like I currently own. I can't build all my projects. I don't have space to keep them all. I really don't. So sacrifices have to be made. And I've decided to go ahead and let this thing go. Now I'm going to sell the El Camino separately from the Pontiac parts, just due to the simple fact that odds are most people aren't going to want this. And I've had it listed for sale both ways, with the Pontiac parts on it and mentioning not having the Pontiac parts on it. Not really getting no bites, so I'm going to go ahead, pull the Pontiac parts off, split them up, go ahead and sell them. That way I get some of my money back. I might make some money considering some of these parts when I bought these parts. The price has probably gone up quite a bit. So I hate to let them go. I like hoarding Pontiac parts. I got a bunch of engines that I've hoarded over the years that I keep looking into. But at the same time, these body panels, the fenders, the inner fenders, the core support, the bumpers, I don't have a place to store them. So it's better off to let these go off somewhere where someone needs them for their project rather than sitting out in the elements. Now, I said, I don't have the money to build all these projects that I want to build. I don't make enough on YouTube to build and keep all these projects I want to keep and build. So, taking a look at my life, I've had mentally a rough 7 years, and it's time to break that. It is time that I get back on track with my life the way it should be. 7 years ago, I lost my dad and went to a horrible, deep depression. And the 64 G2 honestly sets most of the time because of that. I didn't want to touch it, didn't want to do anything with it. That C10 sitting over there, that was my first truck. I started driving that truck nearly 20 years ago. And after the wreck, I started working on it. My dad was still alive. After he passed, I stopped working on it, and it's it. And I kept telling myself, I'm saving up money to build it the way I want to build it. I've saved up the money. I still haven't touched it. I keep getting these other projects and letting stuff like those two sit. Not to mention my 68 GTO over there. I'm tired of seeing that one sit too. And unfortunately, all three of those vehicles have memories tied to my dad. And that's kind of been a big part of the issue. It's been a lot of depression over those, and I think I'm ready to get away from that. That's why I went to these other projects. I was chasing these thrills and dreams while avoiding my real dreams. And I think it's time that I stop avoiding them and go back to what I truly want. And that's not saying I wanted this, I didn't want this. I would love to have this. But in reality, what do I want the most? And what I want the most is what I wanted many years ago when that C10 got T-boned. I wanted to continue driving it daily. It was a hot rod daily. I want it to be a hot rod daily again. And so, I'm gonna hot rod daily it. That's the plan. Sorry about that. But that's the plan. It's gonna go back to my daily driver. Now I also have the G8. So in consideration, what I'm personally gonna keep is my G8. Even though it's a V6, I really don't care. That thing is comfortable going down the highway. It cruises easy. And it gets decent gas mileage for the size of the vehicle going down the highway. I'm not upset about it at all. It has little occasional problems. And knowingly one day I'm going to have to redo it. Which I will. Not until I get the other stuff fixed. I have the c10 GTO, which it's time for me to step up and start working on, even though it stays in the carport covered up. There are times that, even though it doesn't get weather, there's certain things that happens that you see the flaws in it coming out. Things like some of the shady body work that was done with the Bondo and stuff that started to crack. Stuff like that is starting to show, needs to be fixed. And one day I'll completely redo it, but I want to probably do, well, driveline first and then the paint and body. And this is going to look sad, whoops, like this, but it is what it is. I want to get the c10 redone, done right. Obviously my C10 is going to go back to daily, and well, between the G8 and the C10 they'll be dailies. The C10, well, it's going to get the engine that was going to go in here. So I may not be building a Pontiac truck here. I'm still going to build a Pontiac truck. That's what I always wanted to do. I'm going to do it. So you kind of see the pattern there. I wanted a Pontiac truck. The one that was sentimental to me, I let sit, went to go to another one, and I can't do that. I got to fix the one that means more to me. This thing, well, someone will build it. It could be a titled drag truck at this point. Or a donor, someone right there, whatever. And as for the 68 GTO, that was always my dream car growing up. I finally got one, and I'm tired of letting it sit. So I need to build it too. And it has a lot of problems. It's a 2-owner car, California car. I found it. I didn't find out, but someone told my dad about it, and we went down. Long story short, I got it. And that's going to be a pro street build for sure. It's going to take a while. But the longer I take on these other random projects, the longer it's going to take to get to that, and the longer it's going to sit. Now, sure, plenty of y'all can put 2 and 2 together to realize some of these projects I build are funding, or should be funding, these other projects, which they are slowly. But life happens. The money's got to go somewhere. Like this car that's sitting over here under the tarp. I should only have it a couple weeks and done. That way I can use finances to build the other stuff. Now this is really becoming a sad sight. There's not much left of this car, but I am worried about that. That's another deterrent on this car. I don't love it enough to build it. So maybe it'll find a good home and get a lot of the money back on these Pontiac parts. Also, I'm going to have to step up some videos, which is why I usually don't make an update, and I am now. I got to get ahead on my videos because this thing right here is getting surgery. I've always had problems talking. Some of y'all probably seen comments made of why I mispronounce words in my head. They're correct. But with this thing, some of my letters don't come out the way they should sound. And hopefully they'll be fixed. I've had trouble with my nose for years, and it's finally gotten to the point where it's giving up and collapsing on itself. I'm doing a therapy thing. I can't use certain medications because of insurance, you know, all that good stuff. So, got a nose strip on it. That's about the only reason I can half-ass breathe out of my nose right now. That being said, once the surgery's done, it's going to be several weeks of recovery time where I can't do any heavy lifting at all, any strenuous activity, because surgery with the nose can cause some bleeding, and intense bleeding. So that's going to put me behind. And depending on when that is, it may or may not be a bad thing, because I still got to go back to the doctor, follow up, and then figure out when the surgery is, and then go from there. And honestly, as much as it pains me, and I know a lot of y'all seem to like this car, it's a shame to see it in this shape. It's fine, it's already busted. I did that before. Now, let's get that dash out. And that dash kills me as I redid this dash. It was honestly bad. It's pretty dirty and nasty now. You can kind of see a little bit right there where I didn't get it perfect. But I'd cut this off right here. Welded a patch panel in. Says it's for the Chevelles and Malibus, such, but you know, A-body, whatever. So I redid all that, and right here is even rotted out. You can kind of tell it looks misshapen a little bit. There, that's a little better. You can tell it's a little misshapen right here between these. And in fact, a little paint chip right there. That's because these did not exist. I actually used welding rod and a TIG welder and made my own little section right here. You can kind of tell a little bondo right there. Little stuff like that to make that look better, like it sees, but didn't get it quite right. You can tell that one goes further over than that one. But it is pretty rotten and gone right there. Out of the parts car I pulled this out of. Still in good shape. That ought to bring a few bucks anyway. And hopefully I didn't let y'all down on this project, because I know a lot of y'all look forward to it. I look forward to it too. But like I said, it's time for me to get back on the road that I wanted to be on to begin with, before I started taking all these unnecessary detours, which some of them are a learning experience and I appreciate it, but it's time to do what I really want to do. cleaning and scrubbing all this, should look pretty good again. And you can see right here, and some welding wire still left. We're gonna have to fill all that in because it was just shot. It's kind of a sad sight now. But odds are it's going to sell faster this way, oddly enough. Look better with the front end on it. I really dig the 65 to 7 Pontiac front ends, but like I said, it's time to move on. Time to get to where I want to be. I need to quit taking these detours. Time to get back to my dreams, chasing my actual dreams. And obviously with no surgery, try to improve myself too. Fortunately, that's something I can't fix myself. So, there it is. I got a lot off my chest. You know what's coming up. And with the way my nose is and surgery and all that, I may go back to 2 videos a week for a while, just to make sure I have enough and get ahead, because I know it's at least 2 weeks recovery before I can do any heavy lifting. I don't know how long it's going to be before I can actually speak properly and clearly again. From my understanding, my face is going to be messed up pretty good, so I'm not sure how long of a break I'll take. So I may go down to 2 videos a week. I'll get ahead for a little bit, and hopefully all that will sort itself out. Now I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Look forward to the channel's content still to come. And as always, thanks for watching.